Right, so you followed China Crisis then since we were older teenage lads, and then young men, and then sort of disappeared for 20, 30 years. Right, but you do remember we made 2 albums with Walter Becker from Steely. That was an enormous privilege, really. And how that came about quickly, we were in LA, 1983. We were supporting a band called Simple Minds. We were Virgin Records in Britain, but in America, we just signed with Warner Brother Records, you know, Bugs Bunny and all those, Wile E. Coyote and all that. So we thought, yeah, we're in the right fucking place. A bunch of fucking cartoons. And they asked who's going to produce the 3rd album. Eddie said Gary Katz, who was Steely Dan's producer, and Warner Brothers said they could do better than that. They had Walter Becker on the books. Would we be interested in that? Eddie and me, we've known Steely Dan since we were about 14 years of age, so yeah, we were very excited. They got in touch with Walter, who was living in Hawaii, and Walter already had the album Working with Fire and Steel. Yeah, which is amazing, really. If you think of Walter sat there under his palm trees and his surfboard, and he's waxing it, and in the background is na 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 na. This time we should talk about it, Walter. So Walter goes, yeah, sure, I'm interested in meeting them. Comes to London and meets Ed and myself and Gaza and Kevin, and we played them some of the demos that we had, which would have been on cassette, with no vocals, just a bit of a drum machine going, and the bass synthesizers going, dum 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 dum, a little synth going. And then we would have played that to Walter, pressing the play button, and we would have sang our ideas to him. Now you've got to remember, Walter was such an esteemed character from the 70s, and had worked with all manner of the best people in the world to make popular music. And then all of a sudden he stood with Gary and Eddie, and we must have been all of, what, 22, 23 years of age? We'd only learnt our instrument about 4 or 5 years. We'd only been having records out for 3 years. And there he was going to commit to making an album with us. And he must have been looking going, yeah, I'm down with that shit. I'm sick to death of playing with people who can absolutely play out of the skin. I need to work with some fucking real cats who can't really fucking play. But for some mad reason, he can write songs, and he was so generous. One of the things I always like telling people is what a producer does and what he brings to your music is, you know, King in a Catholic Style? Yeah. You know, it's the bass, dum 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 dum, and Eddie's guitar, and we had a little drum beat. And I would have stood there again and gone, wake up, King in a Catholic Style. And Walter would have gone, yeah, I like it. I'm not sure what it is, but I think I like it. He would have took that cassette home to Hawaii, and then when he came back to work on the album, and we would have been working on the track, Strength of Character, Black Man Ray, Bigger the Punch, King in a Catholic Style, we would have got to work, King in a Catholic Style, and Walter would have went, I've got a little bit of an idea for that one, and he would have played this. Now remember, Eddie and myself were self-taught, so we were still playing keyboards like that. And if you think of all the lines, the China Crisis lines, they're quite simple, aren't they? And wishful thinking. You can play them all with about 3 digits. So when Walter turned up with that, he was obviously fucking showing off. He was trying to illustrate to us that, guys, people do actually use the 10 digits. But I also, it's a great illustration of what a producer should be, really, is generous and bring the ideas as much as the band or the artist, and that's certainly what Walter did with us. He could have easily have claimed a songwriting credit for that, really, but we would have told him to fuck off. Because I simply would have said to him, I don't remember you being in the room in Kirby when we wrote it. So whatever you're bringing to the party late, that's your fucking job. You've got to understand that we did have that kind of level of relationship with him, because we ended up doing 2 albums with him. You know, it wasn't just a fluke where it was like, oh, I worked with these Liverpool guys. It wasn't like that at all, really. It was a really lovely experience. We always tell people not only did he change our lives forever, but he changed them for the better. We'll play some songs in tribute to him, starting with this one of our favourites, Bigger the Punch I'm Feeling.